Hello. Hi. I can see there's one viewer, and I hope it's the leader. If it's the leader, you can just go ahead and start that presentation. I'll be listening to you.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Welcome to the meeting. You can start. Hello, guys. There's the two of you in the meeting. I guess one of you is busy, so you can start the meeting, start the presentation. I'll be listening
Sorry
to you.
about that.
Please.
Hi, sorry about that.
All right, David, I think you can carry on. You can try now again. I think Sam has muted his phone.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I had some connection issues now, but I think they're sorted. So do I start or should we wait for the others to join in or?
You should start, sir, because there are two groups. They'll catch up.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sam. So do I start from just another thing that I just wanted to quickly clarify because you gave us two tasks yesterday's on the chart, but there was a few more like on the first day of the business games. So do I start from task one or just those two that we did yesterday? Because those two are the only two ones which were recorded.
Just doing what you want to do. Because it's true.
Then let's do what you want to do, Eddie. You never say what you want to do. What do you want to do, Eddie?
I want to eat my dinner and
David, I think just start with task 1, just read the task and then the solution that we got to. Then carry on over to task 2, read the task and then read the solution. Carry on right through until task 6.
All right, thanks, Peter. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from task 1. So we're entering a new country to develop MMM, and that country is Thailand. We need to state the resources that we have, the starting resources, and as stated in the problem, and we need to come up with plans of action for the week. And we must specify the number of registrations and deposits that we will achieve over this period of 1 week. So we have funds, we have internet, we have team, and we have a knowledge that we have acquired throughout the school. So our solution was to target 2 main locations in most populated cities in Thailand, which we found out to be Bangkok, which has a population of about 14.5 million people, and another city was Nonthaburi, which has a population of about 250,000 people. So we came up with a 7-day plan of action for this week. So we decided that we're gonna divide our team into 2 groups. First, we're gonna have a marketing team, and we have another team that's mainly going to be focused on carrying out and conducting the presentation. So the marketing team will heavily use one of the resources that we're given here, which is the internet, to create awareness and invite at least 150 people for the presentations. And the presentation team will conduct 2 hourly presentations and ensure at least 50 registration per meeting per location. Remember, there are 2 locations. We have so the meeting will be like simultaneously in both locations. So it's 50 registrations per meeting per location. So that's 100 registrations for the 2 meetings. So we came up with the budget breakdown of the items that we're gonna require to go through the week. Oh, let's see. So the total is we have about 50,000 US dollars. If I'm not wrong, yes, that's 50,000 US dollars, and we divided it into the following items: flights and transport, about 15,000 US dollars; accommodation, 6,000 US dollars; electronic media, about 5,000 US dollars; food, 6,000 US dollars; paper media, 7,000 US dollars. We decided that we're gonna invite some celebrities. We're gonna have some celebrity appearances, so that to even attract even a greater audience, if we have local celebrity appearances in some of our presentations. So that's gonna cost us about 2,000 US dollars, and the booking of the conference rooms that we'll be using in the hotel, that might be or might not be part of the accommodation cost, will come to about 6,000 US dollars. And we reserved about 3,000 US dollars for as an emergency fund. So just in case, well, anything happens, then we have about that much amount money left to cover any emergency situation. So the total comes to 50,000 US dollars. Yeah, that sums up the solution for task 1. So carrying on to task 2. Are you saying something, Busi?
David, just carrying on. They're trying to connect. Otherwise, Sam is going to finish up at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. In respect of how many people join us now, just carry on. Go over from the one question to the other one with the solutions until you're through to.
All right, let me just do that. Thanks, Sam. So task 2. So a week has passed. We 10 guiders. The average contribution of it's about $300 per participant. So under the given regulations of MMM, we must provide at least 30% growth in terms of the participant payments starting from the first contribution. So we needed to calculate how many members that we need to ensure at least how many members and contributions that we need to ensure for the coming 3 weeks. So so that we're able to make those payments. So our plan of action included a bit of calculations there. So we did a bit of trial and error to come to the solution, and it actually came out right. So what we decided on was from the average contribution of each participant of about $300. So we have in 2 locations where we're conducting our presentations. The total number of meetings is 42 for a week, and that will mean that we have average registrations per meeting for both locations being 100 registration. So if you work it out, that for the first week we have about 4,200 people from both locations. No, sorry, that 100 is per meeting. It's not per week. So for the first week, we have about 4,200 people on average being recruited or new registrations. So that will carry on for all the second week, third week, and fourth week. So it's about 4,200 people. So if we work it out that into contributions, it's about 1.26 million per week contributions. So it's 1.26 million contributions for the first week. And so on 30% growth, taking into account the 30% growth per month, we for the first week, the payments that we're gonna have to make out, it's about 1.638 million for the first week, but that will only be due in the first week of the second month. So the number of people recruited for each week, if we're recruiting 100 people per meeting for 2 occasions, it's more or less the same for the second, third, and fourth week. So the total average weekly contribution will also be the same at 1.26 million US dollars, and the expected amount at the end of the month will also be the same for all the 4 weeks. And let me just take you through the totals. The totals is 1.68. No, it's 16,800 people for the whole month. So for that next 3 weeks plus the first week is 16,800 people, and then the total contributions for the month, it's about 5 million. Yes, 5.04 million US dollars, and the total expected release, total expected amount on the release date at 30% growth is about 6.55 million US dollars. So just to conclude, so based on the calculations above, we're gonna need about 1.64 million US dollars will be required after the 3 weeks to pay the older participant. And if we continue at least 4,200 people per week contributing at an average of $300 US, the total contributions after 3 weeks will be about $5 million US dollars. Therefore, our conclusion was that we'll have the system will have sufficient funds to pay all the participants. Continue on to task 3, which is more or less the same with a month has passed. We are now 100 guiders. We need to come up with the same plan, or more or less the same plan based on the previous month's calculation. So just looking on month 2, the totals. If we come up with a strategy to one way that we're going to increase registrations, it's on the strategy that for every 4 people that we register, at least they're gonna register 1 people. That's our safe assumption. So that will increase our registrations per week by about 25%. So the total per week for the second month, it's no longer 4,200, it's 4,000, it's 5,250. 250 years. And the average weekly contribution is about, it's no longer 1.26 million, it's about 1.575 million US dollars. And what we're gonna expect to pay at the end of the month, 30% growth is about 2.0475 million US dollars for the first week. So just to take you through the funds that will be required to make payments for the first week of the second month, it's about 4.9. So we have a total of about 5 from the previous slide. From the previous task, we have a total about what we have. It's about 5 million US dollars. Now we need about 4.977 million US dollars. Which no, we don't need that. That's what available to make payments for the first week. So it's more than enough, because what's required is about 2 million for the first week. No, sorry, it's about 1.63 million. So just to continue on that, then it goes down to the funds available to make payments for the second week. It's about 4.9 million. Then it goes down to 4.85 million, goes down to 4.788 million US dollars. So just to conclude, in the second month, we'll just like I said, we'll have a 25% increase in registration. And if we ensure that, for every 4 people registered, we get 1 additional person recruited. So this will ensure that the system is stable throughout the third month and beyond. Just continue to task 3. So after 2 months, we have a number of participant deposit that we've calculated. Now you need to calculate and organize within the next month. A week after the start, there's a local holiday, and what happens is that it's celebrated during the week, and during this week, there's a sharp fall in registrations of about 75%. So we came up with a plan of action to solve that beautiful problem there, that we're gonna try to reduce the presentation time to 2 hours. From 2 hours to 1.5 hours. That will give us, that will enable us to increase the number of presentations from 3 presentations per day to about 5 presentations per day. And remember, we're getting about 50 people per meeting, so that will certainly increase the number of registrations. So another countermeasure is to increase the number of increase the registration bonus, so as to attract more new participants into the system. So we also suggested to introduce a weekly withdrawal limit to sort of like stabilize the system, and we also suggested to reach out to more audience and create more awareness in even rural places where people can't get to these cities and aren't aware of our community. We also suggested to acquire mobile contact details and send out mass promotional information via SMS or be it other sorts of contact details. We also decided to set up information booths at shopping malls to create even more awareness. So just in conclusion, we're confident that the above actions will ensure that the registration activity will increase by over 160% in the following week after the holiday week, which will be enough to counteract the earlier drop, the earlier 75% drop. Going on to SARS 5, which I personally found a bit tricky. So our plan didn't work out, and now we do not have enough new registrations and new deposit to cover the costs. And it is necessary to come up with a plan of action to solve the situation, the resources, participations, and contributions that are needed to solve this problem. So due to lack of funds, there are delays in payments, and all participants are seeing that neither make their own contributions or attract new members. So we came up with more or less the not more or less the same solutions from task 4, but we decided to introduce even more strict actions to sort of counteract this problem. So the required resources that we're gonna need to solve this, it's high-speed internet. We need more informed participants. From the previous task, I think we had about 100 guiders. So at least if that number is pushed up to 200 guiders, that would give us more manpower. And we need conferencing centers. We need more locations, and we need obviously more efficient transport system, food and accommodation. So our plan of action includes increasing the waiting period from, which is initially I think 14 days to 45 days. We also need to introduce more stricter sanctions, or something like that on guiders. For instance, for guiders can only GH after the second PH. And we need to introduce weekly withdrawal limits, well, as it was in the previous task. And we need to train more guiders and everyone in the pipeline. Basically, all the members are supposed to, we need to have access to some sort of training, and we need more transparent communication in our personal offices, because when things like this happen, you'd find that there isn't enough or adequate information on the system, and people are just confused as to what's going on. But we decided that if you can come up with a more efficient, transparent communication system to the members, and everyone will be aware of what's actually going on, and that will actually counteract panic and things like that. So we need to transfer information not only to the guiders as it is at the moment in the system, but to everyone who is to all members. So yeah, that sums up our task 5. Task 6. So during this month, the delay in payment increased to 7 days. There was delays in the previous months. Now they increased to 7 days. Referral activity almost reduced to 0. No one is referring anyone to the system. All members do not attract anyone and do not make contributions to, more or less the same as it was in the previous month. In virtue of the situation, a post mode is implemented in which all the old members are frozen and will be available for withdrawal when the situation is right itself. New deposit grow as per all conditions are not frozen and available as usual. We need to come up with a plan of action for another month in sight of the new reality now. So the required resources are more or less the same as they are in the previous tasks. We need bigger bandwidth internet, more efficient communication system. We now need more than 200 guiders. So we need more informed participant. We need more locations. We need more conferencing centers. We need transport. We need basics, food and accommodation. So our plan of action included a more efficient measures to reduce panic in the system. And another idea was to increase Mavro growth to about 50% for new registration. I mean, new people who are PHing with new money. So it's 50%. And we suggested we can also increase we can play around with the registration bonus. And we need to introduce even more withdrawal restrictions for the guiders, since they understand the system better and they will be in a better position to understand than normal members. So we also decided to be more specific on how we're gonna send out information to public. So we suggested we come up with SMS notifications to all members. We suggest to come up with radio adverts and broadcasts to educate everyone that's in the general public about the current situation that's happening in the system. We also suggested TV. And next point, most importantly, we also suggested to get proper training from the headquarters in Russia for our guiders. So to equip each and every guider with a training manual, handy training manual that they can have in their sites and be able to solve problems in the downlines more effectively. So we also suggested things like team building exercises for the guiders, and to some extent even guiders and the downliners or ordinary members. And we also suggested to increase more awareness by coming up with blogs, official blogs from the system. They can be anonymous or not, but to create blogs on the internet where people can throw in any concerns or suggestions or queries, just open to everyone. So yeah, that more or less covers the last task which was given to us, which was task 6. So yeah, that more or less covers our solutions for this task. Over to you, mentor, Mr. Twala.
Oh yes, so you're done, sir. Hello?
Yeah. Yes, I'm done.
Okay, if that's it for the day, I guess that's where we have to stop. We will get feedback on the group as to what happens from here. But thank you very much. So I might have to go to the next group since you're done.
Okay.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you very much.
Yes, that was a good presentation, sir.
All right. Thanks, sir. Thank you very much, sir.